This proves the Steelers are all in. My name is Peyton Kleppe, and on today's episode of Steelers Digest, we'll be breaking down the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news and analysis regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. As the Steelers have added Aaron Rodgers to their roster, they are looking to make some major changes to their offense. Before we get into today's video, if you guys not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. We are trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. So if you do click that subscribe button, we will get you the latest Pittsburgh Steelers analysis and news every single day. So as the Pittsburgh Steelers have added Mr. Rodgers to the roster, signed him to that 1 year, $1.365 million deal. He officially signs in Pittsburgh and becomes the next quarterback for Mike Tomlin, as the Pittsburgh Steelers have had a brand new quarterback for the last 5 years. We get all this hype going into each year, and hopefully we don't get the same result this year. But, I think we got the best chance out of all the guys. This is the most decorated guy we've had since Big Ben. Obviously, he's a 3-4-time MVP winner, Super Bowl champion, beat us in 2011. He ended our hopes at making a dynasty during the Brady era. But he's a great quarterback. Other than the Super Bowl loss, I can't really hate on this guy. He's the player. If you go back and look at his stats, this dude had some crazy seasons where he put up over 40 touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions. That's something that only a handful of quarterbacks have done in all of NFL history. So, if we do want one more chance for Tomlin, for this whole head coaching staff, for the guys we got on our roster before we do a rebuild, I think the best guy that's going to give us the best chances, who we, reasonably had an opportunity to get this offseason. There was talk of Matt Stafford, but obviously he was going to stay in LA. Everybody kind of knew that. So I think out of all the options, Rodgers was the best. But, I think adding Rodgers, it's really going to open up our whole offense and allow us to finally throw the ball across the middle and finally make some changes on that offensive side. So instead of just trying to be so afraid of throwing the ball and throwing the ball across the middle, doing the deep ball, stuff like that, I think Rodgers is really going to open up a whole new part of our offense that, that we've never had since Big Ben. And then you look to the red zone. The past couple of years we've had a ton of red zone issues. We can't get the ball in at the 1 yard line. That I feel like that's happened way too many times past couple years where it's 4th and 1. We hand it to Najee. We get stuffed. We do some dumb trick play and get stuffed on the 1 yard line. So, bringing a guy like Aaron Rodgers just kind of eliminates that. He's a seasoned veteran. He knows what to do along the goal line. I can think back so many different times where him and Devontae just connect on that 1 to 2 yard out on the goal line. And, I think him and DK are going to have a big connection this year. So, but anyways, there was a big controversy this offseason whether or not Aaron Rodgers was initially looking to go to the Vikings or the Giants or initially the Steelers, but he put that to rest today. He did say that there were conversations with other organizations for sure, but, that rapport that fell between me and Mike just made it where I was going through my personal stuff. There really wasn't any option for me. It was here or not play. So, Aaron did confirm that if he wasn't playing in the black and gold for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was going to retire. And that's something good to hear. I mean, we all kind of knew this was going to happen. Nobody was really questioning it. But, it made headlines and it made Aaron feel better, I guess. But obviously he did come out and confirm that his real only option was Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, the New York Giants were another option for Aaron, but he doesn't want to go play in New York. They still got a lot of question marks and probably won't win a lot of games, stuck in a division with the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. So get ready, New York Giants. But obviously, Aaron Rodgers made the right decision, came to Pittsburgh. And, I think this guy, bringing him into Pittsburgh, it's not going to just help him. It's going to help everybody else around him. It's kind of crazy to say that because if you look back to last year, it kind of felt like Rodgers was hurting everybody around him. But I really think it's really going to be the opposite in Pittsburgh. Last year, Aaron Rodgers was the guy that was supposed to come in, change that whole team and bring them to that championship. But, coming into this year, Rodgers just has to be a guy that can compete on offense, throwing more touchdowns than interceptions for once, throw them more than 16 passing touchdowns, which I do believe Rodgers can do. I think the least he's ever had in a season was I don't know, maybe his first couple years, but I think the lowest he's had in the past couple years has been 20 something. So this guy is going to at least give us a chance to compete on offense. He's going to be a vocal leader who's going to help out all the young guys like Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson, all those guys on the offense. Rodgers has had so many different teammates. He's played in so many different games, and he's learned so many different things. And he's done a lot of dumb things too. So I think he can be definitely an open book for all these guys. He's been very open to that role. He's definitely confirmed that's what his role is in this year. He's trying to help out all the young guys as much as he can. Obviously, a guy like Will Howard, we pick him up in the 6th round. Not really expecting much, but, definitely seeing some potential in him. And I think a lot of people want Rodgers to kind of do what he did with Jordan Love and kind of take Will Howard under his wing, like Rodgers did with Jordan Love before, and kind of show him what it's like to be a pro, the daily ins and outs, just teach him just how to be, at least half of what Rodgers was. This dude was a Super Bowl champion, 3-4-time MVP, multiple-time Pro Bowler. This dude has won at all levels. This dude's a pro's pro, and he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league for the past 20 years, It's just crazy to think about, but Rodgers has been that guy. He's been great, and I think he's only going to be a great leader in Pittsburgh and help us at least get to the best chance that we have at getting that number 7th Lombardi trophy. Steelers have definitely made a lot of moves this season that nobody really thought they would do. They never would have been a team I would have thought would go for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, wait this long for a guy like Aaron Rodgers. I never would think the Pittsburgh Steelers would trade for a guy like DK Metcalf. That's a move that I never thought would have happened, but they did it. And then another move I never would have thought would have happened later was trading away George Pickens. Obviously Steelers have traded away guys in the past, but to the Cowboys for a 3rd and a 6th round pick, what are we doing? But I believe in Khan, I believe in Tomlin, and I believe in the Rooney family, and I do think they're giving us the best chance they have and that we got to get that 7th Lombardi. If you guys are not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much. Here we go, Steelers. Peace out, dude.